Hey guys, good evening. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be about why I support global government and the New World Order, or a New World Order. A lot of people who are in my cliques, my personality type meshes, people I get along with are people who typically don't believe a fucking thing a government says. So why would I want to have a global, all-reaching government that can control the entire planet? Well, the answer is pretty simple. The way that we currently do government is wrong completely. I feel that the borders between countries, the flags, like the one you see behind me, are really nothing more than blue bandanas or red bandanas or whatever. They're gang flags. They represent tribal mentalities and promote conflict, competition, and war between peoples for nothing other than where they were born, which is completely ridiculous. I mean, if anything, we should celebrate Earth because that's like the main place we were born, or our solar system. Hell, maybe one day we'll be smart enough to have a galactic consciousness where we can be like, this is the Milky Way crew. But right now, we don't have the ability to do that because we can't even see past our fucking cities. Look at sports teams, for instance. How there are huge conflicts and rivalries between fucking people who play games. That's ridiculous. No country should go to war with another country. We're all fucking humans. We all deserve a right to happiness, a place to grow and become more than we are. But instead, we get this machine that we are pumped into at birth that creates this inherent conflict between peoples that shouldn't exist. We are pitted against each other in order to create profit for people who make money on waging war. I don't know about you guys, but I don't feel that 9/11, 3,000 people dying, 4,000, whatever, is justification to kill 1 million Iraqis. Or, 100,000 Pakistanis, or which is insane because we're not even in war with them. And Lord knows how many Afghanis. I mean, because you have places like Blackwater and other defense contractors who don't have any kind of stipulations put on how they can conduct warfare. Like, breaking age-old rules of combat from, pre-Geneva Convention and then Geneva Convention. The reason that we're divided is to create conflict and profit for a select number of people. And that's the reason they're trying to get a one world government to consolidate that power. However, I don't believe in their world government. I believe that people should have a direct democracy. 100% technologized, biometric, direct democracy, where I'm not talking about biometric scanners where you have to go to the grocery store and scan in, or, you have people pulling you over and scanning your chip or whatever. I'm talking about an identification that's linked to a device, tablet, television, or phone-sized device that your family would have access to, or your individual would have access to. And in order to use said device, if there was anything to vote on, if there was any kind of non-AI decision that needed to be made by a spiritually and consciously, not just conscious, but a sense of morality that is inherent to a living biological being, not just distributing goods between localities or figuring out how much of a resource to devote into a particular field of study or whatever. We're talking about things like, hell, there would be so little to fucking vote on, it would be insane. I mean, we could have so much of our work our production, our resource extraction from mining, we could have all of that completely automated. There's no reason why we can't have humanity living a life of luxury where we have everything that we need provided for us. I mean, we're even talking about, like, not only producing the goods, but extracting the minerals from the earth in order to produce the goods, refining them, shipping them back to a production center. I mean, this is stuff that is not complicated in the slightest. Robots can do amazing fucking things when they work together as a collective. And if we really utilize them for all the production, then whenever someone needs something, it can be droned right over to them with no man labor involved. We could live a life where we can focus on the arts, on science, on expanding our consciousness, exploring outer space and our inner space, and becoming more human and less machine. Even though we would be giving over a lot of what we currently don't like to machines, we would do so in a way that would be so much more beneficial to nature. We could have a global survey of exactly where every resource is in this most, rich, abundant strains, or, stratas of rock or mineral or metal or whatever. And we would target that location with as little environmental impact as possible by small robots that go in and extract minerals. And then before you know it, you'd have a very complex electronic showing up on your doorstep. Humans could have gardens where we'd grow our own food and everything would be healthy. Right now, the powers that be, the government, the select number of people that have chosen to rule over us, whether through corporations, government, or through the acquisition of wealth, they are making decisions that are exactly the opposite of beneficial for humanity. They're beneficial to them sometimes, but really they're so warped at this point that they don't know what's good for them and what's not. I mean, these are people who have done horrible, horrible things that are in positions of power. We need to completely destroy this government, this setup of countries, this UN style, hey, let's just combine all of our representative governments, whether they're capitalistic or communistic, whatever, the ones where we have people in power over other people, let's just combine those together so we have a huge power collective where we can then vie out power to whoever we like the most within that collective. So it just stair steps up until, pyramids. A pyramid's nice until you realize that the Pyramidians not even connected to the fucking pyramid anymore. They've risen above us and think that they are something completely different. They don't have our best interests at heart. So we need to make this whole system anew. We need to tear down the borders between countries. We need to get rid of every source of government there is, period. And we need to start living lives as humans used to live, as hunter-gatherers. But no longer hunting and gathering, but as a member of a community where we could be friends to each other, where we could help provide for one another, where we could live in peace and build something that will actually last, as opposed to building war, which is designed to destroy, or building disease. Instead of working on a healthcare system where you're just treating symptoms and you're not addressing the heart of the issue, address the heart of the issue. Create technologies that aren't harmful to us. Create lifestyles that don't make us want to go out and use drugs or drink or smoke cigarettes or take a Xanax from our, doctor who probably has stock in the company that he's prescribing out. Have a system that's actually designed for the people's benefit, as opposed to creating this designed obsolescence of humanity where we die so young, as is creating more mouths to feed, these mindless eaters, as Henry Kissinger called us. This is beyond absurd that we put up with this kind of system where we give the government power over us, over our children, when we send them to school. Legally, we are sending them to school and forfeiting our parental rights until they get out of school over to the state. If you don't think the government can do